So we'll have the word for people, which is folk. Like folk, but with a bit more L. Folk.
Folk.
Yeah. What about he wants to understand people?
Han vill skilja folk.
Ja. Han vill. Han vill.
Yeah.
Han vill skilja folk.
Skilja folk.
Yeah, exactly. And skilja means to understand, but it's related to the word skill, if that helps. If you've got a skill in something, you probably understand how to do it. And when he said han vill, you'll be comforted to know that Icelanders quite often make that mistake.
They say han vill.
Yeah, and they'll sometimes say jeg vill, and they get them mixed up. So it's actually quite idiomatic to make that mistake.
Okay.
Basically, because the verb's irregular, the language is trying to regularise it, but they haven't decided quite how they're going to do it yet.
Yeah, okay.
So he wants to understand people.
Han vill skilja folk.
Ja, han vill skilja folk. Excellent. What about he wants to take a house? Home. It's an unlikely sentence. Never mind. We'll do it anyway.
Han vill taka hus.
Home?
Han vill taka hus hem.
Yeah. And, you know, it might sound unlikely, but maybe we're in a toy shop and, I don't know, the kid wants to take a house home. You know, it's a doll's house or something.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
I can see that.
Han vill taka hus hem. So we now can talk about children, barn, we can talk about houses, hus, we can talk about people, folk, and we can talk about plurals for a minute. Fortunately, with these neuter nouns, the plural is basically the same as the singular.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to complicate this slightly in a minute, but for most neuter nouns this is completely true. So this is the sheep situation that we have in English. I have 1 sheep, I have 12 sheep. It's just the same.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas that's quite rare in English, it's really common in Icelandic, so it's very helpful. Let's try saying houses are here.
Hus hér.
Just hér.
Hér.
Hús eru hér.
Hus eru hér.
Exactly. But you did something really interesting and helpful. Because if you say hús hér, the word says I'm singular. Just like hann hér or hún hér. So if you say hús hér, it means a house is here. But if you say hús eru hér, it means houses are here. Okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Ben might try saying houses were there.
Hús veru það.
Not thað, which means it.
Þar.
Thar. Exactly. And you said veru, but it's voru.
Voru.
But, very good. Hús voru þar.
Hús voru þar.
Excellent. And if you wanted to say a house was there?
Hús var þar.
Brilliant. And if Rachel wanted to say, I am making houses, what might you say?
Ég gerum.
And after as, these words always end in a, because that's what infinitives, normal form, always ends in. So,
Gera.
yow!
Gera. I forgot what I'm doing now.
I am making a house.
Ég að gera Hús.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I changed the number accidentally, but I am making a house is ég að gera hús, and I am making houses is ég að gera hús. Okay? Just like, well, in English, you could conceivably get confused over the number of sheep in a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
And someone might be like, how many houses? And then you'll have to say, oh yeah, lots. Ég að gera hús. So, neuter nouns are very easy for this reason. A noun that is a little bit more useful than houses, that maybe will do a bit more stuff. And to do this, we're going to have to deal with a slight irregularity. If you have an A in the word, like in bat
Mm-hmm.
or in glass, the A will become an in the plural. So you don't have bat, which means a child, but you have b, which means children.
Mm-hmm.
And you wouldn't have a glass, but you would have
Glös.
glös. Exactly. So I am making glasses.
Ég að gera glös.
Ég að gera.
Gera glös.
Exactly. Ég að gera glös. Rachel is about to learn to say, there are glasses here. And to say there are in Icelandic, you don't use the word there, you use the word it. So they say, it are glasses. Okay? So rather than there are glasses, it's it are glasses. Do you want to try that? That's okay.
Don't know.
It is here. Do you want to try that?
I feel like it's another word.
Certainly is.
Not sure which one. Is it Thith? Is it?
Close. Very good. So thith is you, and it is thað.
Thað.
So let's just have it is here.
Það hér.
Magnificent. Það hér. It is here. If you want to say there are glasses, you'll say it are glasses.
So það. What would I?
Cool. So again, what we're going to do is step back to something that's a bit more familiar, pick up the verb, and then we'll come back. So if you want to say they are here, how would we say that?
Þeir eru hér.
Já, þeir eru hér. Excellent. So we'll take those apart. What's it on its own?
Þeir.
Það.
Það.
Okay?
Yeah.
Það. And what's are?
Eru.
Exactly. Eru. So if you want to say there are glasses, which is the same as it are glasses.
Það eru. Glös.
Glös. Fantastic. That's really good. Það eru glös. There are glasses. Here.
Hér.
Magnificent. And we'll just do that in the singular so that we can practice that. Ben, there is a glass here.
Það glas hér.
Exactly. Rachel is about to learn to say there are glasses here. And to say there are in Icelandic, you don't use the word there, you use the word it. So they say it are glasses. Okay? So rather than there are glasses, it's it are glasses. Do you want to try that? That's okay.
Don't know.
It is here. Do you want to try that?
I feel like it's another word.
Certainly is.
Not sure which one. Is it Thith? Is it?
Close. Very good. So thith is you, and it is thað.
Það.
So let's just have it is here.
Það eru hér.
Magnificent. Það hér. It is here. If you want to say there are glasses, you'll say it are glasses.
So, það. What would I?
Cool. So again, what we're going to do is step back to something that's a bit more familiar, pick up the verb, and then we'll come back. So if you want to say they are here, how would we say that?
Þeir eru hér.
Já, þeir eru hér. Excellent. So we'll take those apart. What's it on its own?
Þeir.
Það.
Það.
Okay?
Yeah.
Það. And what's are?
Eru.
Exactly. Eru. So if you want to say there are glasses, which is the same as it are glasses.
Það eru glös.
Glös. Fantastic. That's really good. Það eru glös. There are glasses here. We'll just do that in the singular so that we can practice that. Ben, there is a glass here.
Það glas hér.
Exactly. Það glass here. Let's have there is a child here.
Það barn hér.
Yeah. Það barn.
Barn hér.
Yeah. Just in case this description is useful for people in MP3 land, it's probably not that useful for you while you're here, but this sound, might even have to do that near the microphone, is, you build up air in your nasal cavity, and then you snort, basically, you go, and that's beautiful, that's a fantastic nasal release. Do you want to have a go at a nasal release? Yeah, what you're trying to do at the moment is just go, but you've got to build it up and then
pop it out.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm nodding with it as well.
Yeah. So, bat. Did we get all the way to there is a child here? We didn't we? Yeah. Say it again.
Það barn.
Yeah.
Barn hér.
Yeah, it'll come naturally after a while. Það barn hér.
Það barn hér.
Cool. Now, Rachel has to say, there are children here.
Það eru börn hér.
Yeah. Það eru börn hér.
Börn.
Exactly. Börn. So, það eru börn here. Then we might say there are houses here.
Það hús. No, hús hér.
Það eru hús hér. That's right. Það eru hús hér.
Hús hér.
And Rachel might say there were houses here.
Það veru hús hér.
Það voru hús hér. No, I mean, obviously you were slightly wrong, but you had so much right, and it came so quickly and beautifully pronounced. So, almost full marks. Það voru hús hér. Which you say a lot in Iceland, because there are lots of deserted farms. Well, you may not say exactly that sentence, to be fair, but you could say it a lot. There are people here. This is confusing, because in Icelandic people are singular. Yeah. There is folk here. So, do you want to just try saying that?
Það folk hér.
Exactly. Það folk hér. Cool. And we'll throw in a couple of new words, and then we'll do this with some adjectives, just to sort of practice our adjectives a bit. We should have the word for land, because it's quite handy, and it can mean like land in the sense of a country. A little bit less likely is land in the sense of tilling fields, but it might occur in that sense as well. And the word for land in Icelandic is land. Let's have land is good. I know it's a slightly kind of weird statement, but maybe you're at sea and you're fed up of being at sea. So land is good. Do you want to try that, Rachel?
I'm not sure I'm good, but land don't know.
Any idea what sounds it might start with, or any sounds that it might involve?
Can't remember good.
No problem at all. So fortunately, the word for good is a lot like the word in Icelandic is a lot like the word for good in English. We've learnt it in the masculine, which was golður. We learnt it in the feminine, which was góð, and we've learnt it in the neuter, which is what we need here, because land is neuter, which is gott. So would you like to say land is good?
Land gott.
Yeah, land gott. And Ben might want to say, no, land is not good.
Nej. Land ekki gott.
Exactly. Nei, land ekki gott. Because for some reason you really dislike land. Maybe you're a fish.
Absolutely.
We won't learn the word for fish yet because it's masculine, but we could say there are lands here. We're maybe looking at a map and pointing at an area of the map. There are lands here, or there are countries here. Same thing. So Rachel might have a go at there are lands here.
Það eru lönd hér.
Yeah, that T keeps kind of creeping in. Eventually it'll disappear. Það eru lönd hér. Do you want to say that back?
Það eru lönd hér.
Exactly. Yep. And this will be taxing for Ben, but we could try saying those are good lands. And those is going to be the they word, but for neuter things.
Okay.
So they are good lands. It's the same in Icelandic. Those are good lands. They are good lands.
I can think of like þeir.
Good.
Fire.
Excellent.
And þau.
Yow!
Þau lund. Þau lund eru gott.
Very close. Really good. So the plural adjectives, we had góðir for male masculine things, góðar for feminine things, and for the plural, just góð.
Góð. So þau lund eru góð.
Yeah, þau lönd eru góð. Those lands are good. So what we started to see with the neuter adjective is, okay, so in the singular you have to add a T. But in the plural, you don't add anything at all. And that's a little bit like how plural nouns, in neuter nouns in Icelandic, don't change from their normal form. So you might find we might say something about Iceland. And we could say that Iceland is young, which is actually quite a plausible statement, both in the sense that it is a young, well, it was only settled recently by humans, and it is also geologically young. Any guesses what Iceland might be in Icelandic, Ben?
Ísland.
Yeah, Iceland. So would you like to say Iceland is young?
Ísland ung.
Very close, except ung is the feminine singular or neuter plural form. So if we've got a neuter adjective in the singular...
Ungt.
Exactly.
Ungt.
Do you want to say the whole thing?
Ísland ungt.
Yeah, Iceland. So we've got an exciting range of amazing nouns now, and we've got some recollection of how neuter adjectives work, which is very useful. And so the extra complication I want to add in before we finish is the word the. Very useful. They don't have a word for so that's fine, we don't have to worry about that ever. Yeah, Ísland land can mean Iceland is a land, or it can mean Iceland is land. Same thing. If you want to use the word the, though, they don't have a separate word for it. What they do instead is they kind of stick it on the end of the word. So this is one of the kind of head-bending features of Icelandic nouns, and after a while it just becomes completely natural, and you start to find it weird that the comes in front of nouns in English. But in Icelandic it gets stuck on the end, and irritatingly its form will change according to whether it's singular or plural or neuter or masculine and all sorts of other things, which when you speak Icelandic is great because it gives you lots of useful grammatical information. When you're learning Icelandic is a real pain. Fortunately the neuter nouns aren't too bad. So if you want to say the land in Icelandic, and it's singular, you put ið on the end. Ið. So do you want to try saying the land in Icelandic, Rachel?
Landið.
Exactly. That's just one word, landið.
Landið.
Exactly.